Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me at Cindy's Creative Cards. I am so glad that you are here. If you are here, would you leave a comment and where you are from? I would truly love to know my audience. If you would like to know more about me, you can find the About Me on Stampin'Up.com at cindyphillips.stampinup.net. Hi, Julie. I'm so glad you're watching. I'm so glad that I can share this exciting card with you today. I have two that we're going to be making. The first one is what I call the quick and easy card. I'm going to be sending it to a friend who I haven't seen in a very long time. So let's get down to making the card. I'm going to lower this. First of all, I need to change you around. Let me see, where did it go? Here we go, here we go. And I'm going to pull the camera down. Okay, and hopefully you can see my hands. Here's information about how you can find me. It's my blog, my Stampin' Up! Store, YouTube, and Facebook. If you can't read this, you can find this information on the About Me section of my Facebook page, which is Cindy Creates Cards. There are different ways to find me here, and that's because Cindy's Creative Cards happened to be taken after I set up my Facebook page. And so I have Cindy Creates Cards, Cindy's Creative Cards, Cindy Stamps Happy, and then cindyphillips.stampinup.net, which is the most important one. Okay, so our first card. This is a card we're going to be making. And I have Hello, my friend. And on the inside, I have Thinking of You with All My Heart. So you can put any kind of sentiment that you like inside and out, but this is what I chose for my special friend. So I'm going to show you, we're using the Hello Ladybug stamp set. It is a retiring stamp set that is still available if you go to Stampin' Up's website, my store, cindyphillips.stampinup.net. And we're also going to be using this Artistically Inked, which is in the annual catalog. I need just that little leaf right there. So, the paper we're going to be using here for our background is in the Perfectly Penciled set. It is, let me see if I can raise this up. Okay, this is Perfectly Penciled, and I'm using this sheet. It has these dots on it, but on the opposite side, it has these beautiful flowers, and this will show on the back, on the inside of our card. Okay, so let's start out. We're using Poppy Red. We're using a piece of white, basic white cardstock. And I'll give you the measurements as I go, but this will also be listed on my blog by Friday, giving you directions and instructions about how to make this card. So I start out with the card base, which is a 5.5 by 11 inch piece of basic white cardstock scored at 4 1/4. Okay. I'm going to cut, and I've already done that, this piece, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And it is going to go down. I don't have to worry so much right now about messing this up because I know that's going to be the base, the background. So I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. And I am going to glue this down. Just like this. Making sure I have equal space all around. Okay, then I'm going to take this 4 3/8 inch by 3 1/4 red Poppy Parade red card, and I'm going to glue this down and center it. This glue is great. It dries quickly and it dries clear. Okay, so I've got that. All right, so now I'm ready to do my card front. So I'm going to put this to the side. This is going to be my card front, which will go just like this. And it is 4 1/8 by 3 inches. Okay, it's a little bit smaller than this card, but I decided that it needed this size. It would be best to have this size. So what I'm going to do is take the Hello Ladybug stamp set, and I'm going to take this leaf stamp. And you can see that I've used these. Now you can see that this is discolored, but that does not in any way mess up the stamp image. It's just that it stains these clear photopolymer stamps. So I have my leaf stamp. I'm going to use my stamp block, which is a D, and place it on just like that. I'm going to use my green Granny Apple Green ink pad. Now, I've shown this before, but for those of you who have not seen my videos, you can open this by pulling here and sliding it in, or if I'm lucky enough, and this one's not going to do it, some people can pop it right here. Once in a while I can get it to do it, but I can't today. So that's my way of doing it. So I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to place this just so. And I'm going to press down on this because I want a good ink transfer. And there we go. I like that. Okay, I'll put that ink to the side and this stamp to the side. Now, we have to do our ladybug. Our ladybug will go right here. It's going to be 3-dimensional. So, what you can do is take your basic white cardstock, your stamp set, and take out the ladybug stamp. Now, this ladybug is going to have wings, so I'm going to take it out. And she's going to have dots, so I'm going to take it out. So, oh, I can also take out Hello, my friend. So here's the stamp for my friend. I'm going to place it right over here. And here is a stamp for Hello. You can tell that I have used this and loved it. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. I'm going to put my ladybug on stamp block C. Just like that. Now, I need my tuxedo black Memento ink pad, which is what I use this for all black. Okay, and I'm going to see if I can, no, I don't want to stamp it there. I'm going to stamp it here and press down. Oh, that is a wonderful transfer. Okay, great. So I've got that. So now I'm going to do the wings, which fit right on stamp block B. And I'm going to use the Poppy Parade red stamp pad. And I am going to ink this up. This one You really have to get it inked up to make it transfer. And let's hope this does the trick. Ah, it didn't quite do the trick right here. So I'm going to try again. And I have gotten red ink on my hands. That's much better. Now, a trick that I can show you. This is not quite colored in the way I would prefer. So, I have my Poppy Parade dark alcohol ink marker. And I'm going to use a bullet end. And I am going to just color this in just a little bit. This is a wonderful thing about Stampin' Up! Products. They are color coordinated. Your papers, your ink, your markers, even your embellishment and ribbon. All right. If you go too much, you get it messed up. So I don't want to do that. So next, I'm going to take this off and put it aside because it needs to be cleaned. And I'm going to get the dots for the back of the ladybug's wings, or the top of them. And I'm going to use my Tuxedo Black ink again. Okay, and get that really inked up. Now, let's see. It's going to go like this, and you need to line it up. And if you do get a little white in there, that's not so bad. You see those two right there? We'll get the black alcohol ink marker. And I am going to color in those little areas that just aren't quite inked up enough. Okay? It's not cheating. It's just using your resources. Okay. So then I'm going to use this Ladybug Punch. It has both the wings and her body. You push this and it opens up. Okay, I'm going to do her body first, and it's best to turn it over. That way you can see how it is positioned inside your punch. And I'm going to line that up. See if I can get it lined up right. Like that. And there she is. And then, for these, I need to use my paper snips. And I am going to cut this, and I'm going to cut that inside corner there off because, well, no, I didn't need to do it for that. I needed to do it for the other one. Let's see. I want to get this evened up, and sometimes it's a little difficult. My hands want to shake. Okay. And there's her wings. Okay, so that's what she'll look like. So, the next thing we need to do is to glue her wings to her body. And I'm not going to put glue on the very tip because this is going to go off of her body. So, I'm going to put it like this and line the neckline up. Okay. Okay, and that will dry quickly. Okay, and then she is lined up. Now, I want to make her raised up. So I'm going to put a Stampin' Dimensional. A Stampin' Dimensional, the regular ones come in a pack like this, in a little plastic cellophane bag, but I have removed that. And it comes in a sheet like this. So I have already you see, open this up, and I'm just going to use one here on her head. Now, I go a little overboard here because I just want to make sure she doesn't bend. Some people would say one would be enough. Some people would say two would be enough, but I'm doing 3. I'm going to take the tip of my scissors, and I'm going to take off these paper coverings that protect the sticky on it. And I'm going to bring back in this card. And I'm going to place her like that. But before I place her, I want to stamp my sentiment right here. So we are going to use the black Memento ink again. I'm going to use Hello, My Friend. So I'm going to start out with using A and Hello. So I've placed Hello on my stamp block, and I'm going to ink it up. Okay, now you could go ahead and put down your ladybug. That would help in placement of your ink, your sentiment. So I think I will do that. Okay, so I'm going to write Hello. And then I am going to take this off and put it aside for cleaning. And I'm going to wipe my hand so there's no ink transfer, because I don't want to get the card base messed up, or the card front. And I'm going to put my friend on here like that. And then I'm going to place it down. Ooh, I hope I didn't get that too close. There we go. Hello, my friend. Alrighty. And then this is going to be pasted down right here. So I'm going to put my glue on the back. Now, you could use your tape runner, which I used to use solely. But then I decided that the glue wasn't bad at all, because I did have a little bit of wiggle room once I put it down if it was in the wrong place. But once it's down, it's down. It's not going to move. However, with the tape, you could move it with some effort. So now we have Hello, My Friend. Well, I think it needs a little bit more than that. So I brought in my matte black dots for embellishing. And I'm going to follow the rule of 3. And I'm going to get my tool. Here's my pick it up tool, I think it's called. On one end you have sticky stuff that will pick up tiny pieces of paper or cutouts or beads. And this end has a flat end like a spatula, but then if you take it out and turn it over, it has a pointed end. So they both have their purposes. Now let's see if I can get it back in. Okay. So this one is what we're going to use in order to get the embellishments off and onto here. So I think I'm going to put a large one right here. That's my first one. I'm going to put one over here. And then I'm going to put one right here. Okay. And we have a card very quickly made for anyone that you would like to send a special greeting to. And in this case, it's going to be my friend I haven't seen in a very long time. So I will stamp a sentiment on the inside, and you can place a stamp on the inside, such as this one. Let's see if I can move all this stuff so you can see. Right here. This one. This one would be so cute marching along. And it has just the black portions that will be stamped and the outline of her body. And you will have to fill that in with red. So I'm going to think about what I'd like to put on the inside of mine. You can always put another ladybug that's stamped. Anyway, here we go. First card. Okay. That took 20 minutes to make that card, so it didn't take long at all. Now, the next one is going to take a little more effort. And I want to show you what I did in order to come up with the card that we're going to make today. I started out, let me get these pieces over here. I started out with this one, which I really liked. And then I thought, well, it needs a little more color. So I made another one with the green leaves. That's that green leaf I was telling you about in Artistically Inked, right there. And I really liked that one. Then I thought, what if I did this with a strip on the side? Well, I used a fun fold technique where this is glued together and you open it like this. But the space was not large here. So I decided that I would not do that, but just put a strip here of the paper. So I put a smaller strip here. I doubled my string, and I put the sentiment backed in a circle, backed with a black circle to mimic the circles here and here. And then I had a full page here, a full inside of a card that I could write on or stamp my image. And then we have this beautiful DSP, Designer Series paper, on the left. So I'm going to show you how we do this with the cutaway technique. Okay. So, first of all, I took my card base and I stamped using the Hello Ladybug stamp set, this flower. So, I'm going to place the stamp pieces I've used over here. So I know I need to clean them. And once I clean them, I'll put them back under the cellophane because it just keeps it and protects it a little bit better than if it's in the open. Although these stamps are made to store on the plastic stamp case itself, but I just like leaving it in this between the two pieces. Okay, these pieces here are the ones that I need to clean. And so I'm going to make sure I don't have any ink on my hands because I don't want to transfer it. Okay. And I'm going to pull out this flower. Okay. I'm going to place this flower. I place it on a smaller one, but I'm going to place it on this size D. Make sure there's no lint or anything on it. Okay, now we will be using this tiny little one. If you can see that, it has 3 little dots for the center. So I'm going to place this over here. I'll show it to you. It is right here. That's what we're going to be using. And then I'm going to sprinkle that about to show, maybe make it look like pollen. Okay, and magic. So we're using Daffodil Delight. I don't know if you can see that, it's sort of blurred. Stamping pad, which is a beautiful daffodil yellow. And I'm going to ink up my my flower, and I'm going to place the first one right along the edge, right here. And I'm going to press down to get a good transfer. Okay. And then the second one, I'm going to place a little bit further down so I can stamp in those little red flowers. And there's the second one. Okay. Now, the little red flowers are these right here. So I'm going to pull this stamp out, which I've used. Now the red ink stains it, but it still works perfectly. It does not come off. So I'm going to place this on. This block is C, and I'm going to use Poppy Parade, just like we did before, because it's this beautiful, brilliant red. I'm going to ink up my red flowers. Okay, I want to put some here in between those two yellow ones. And then I want to put some, I'll turn this around, right here. Now it is going to go off of the edge here, but that's okay with the technique that we're using. Now, I think I want to do one, let's do the smaller one, right up here in the corner. Okay? Now, I'm going to close that, put this to the side. Now, ooh, I got ink on my hands. I want to make those flowers a little bit more defined. It's not quite, well, if I can get this open now that my hands are wet. And I'm going to fill in right here and make them just a bit redder so they'll pop. So I'm using my alcohol ink, dark Poppy Parade. I hope my head is not in the way. And I am just coloring this in. Now sometimes you can get a good transfer where you don't have to worry with this. But because I'm a stickler, I'm going to do it. I think it just makes it pop a little bit more and makes it eye-catching. So this one doesn't need a lot. But see how this marker just blends right in? You can't tell where it begins and ends. That is the beauty of an alcohol ink marker. And it's well worth the investment. Your Stampin' Right markers will not do this. They are water-based. And they will not do what I just did. You can see where you have put them. Okay, now, before we go any farther, I'm going to take my, let's see. I might need to put something right here. So, let me get the daffodil yellow again. Oops. And I am going to have a partial flower down here, but that's okay. You'll see why in just a second. Alrighty. Now when we put our little spots in there, it's going to really make it pop. So what I'm going to do now is cut out and around. This is called the cutaway technique. Just along the edge. And you don't have to be extremely particular in doing this, because it is pretty forgiving. But this is not getting me where I want to go. Here we go. And even though we are going to have a partial flower here, it will still work out just fine. Okay, we got that cut out. So we're going to continue doing this. Now, as far as telling where to go, I don't want to go too far in, but I do want it to be cut along the line of the flower. And I think I am going to go up, because we're going to paste behind it that beautiful paper, and that is which means that I might lose that. But no, I'm going to take that out. Go right here. I'm going to go up to that and then cut around. Get that little. Now, you can cut away as much as you want. Like we could have gone up in here, but then that would have been another little flower hanging like that, which will be fine once it's pasted down. It's just what you have to decide that you prefer to do. And what I'm going to do is go right in there, which I did before, and this paper was in the way. But do you see how these flower designs are just really popping? Look at this right here. And then we're going to cut here and around. And I'm just going to cut right here. You go into that point. So we'll have that pretty flower showing. And these are going to connect up right here. And I'm going to connect this right here with this, like that. But I'm going to go here, and I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to go from here to right here, and just cut right here. Okay? All right, so here we have the cutaway of the flowers. Now what we're going to do is take this piece right here that is the same width, a little bit less, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to fold it. So, but I am going to look at it like this, and I'm going to decide I want that little piece gone. So I am going to get rid of this piece. All right, now we're going to put glue on this side of the card. So I'm going to put glue here in these little places, these little pieces that jut out. Like that. Now, if I were being smart, which I'm not at the moment, but I'm going to be, I would be using this silicone mat because it prevents glue from getting everywhere, for one thing. And the other thing, if glue gets on it, you can wipe it right off. Now, we're going to turn this over like this. And I am going to line it up. This is the beauty of the glue. And I'm going to make sure that it is lined up here. And then I'm going to press that down. Okay. I have just a little bit right here that I'm going to cut off. All right. So now we have this beautiful cutout, but we need to finish our card. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take the inside 3 dots for the inside of these flowers. I'm going to take it and get my smallest little itty bitty stamp set, stamp block, which is A. Okay, and I'm going to get my Memento black ink right here. And then I am just going to stamp right in the center. Now I don't need much here, but I am going to put just to have the evidence of a little dot. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place this about, just to give it a little bit of pizzazz. Okay. Now, we've got that one done. Now we need to do our leaf. And we're going to pull it from Artistically Inked, this stamp set. This stamp. And this is a rubber cling stamp. The difference between these and the clear photopolymer is these stamps give you a more precise image. That's what they're designed for. So I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green stamp pad. And I'm going to let's see, I'm going to use this bigger one right here. It's just a little bit bigger. This is B. Okay. I'm going to get the excess moisture off. And then I'm going to put this on here. And I'm going to stamp this up. Then I'm going to decide where am I going to place this. Well, I want one right here. I think I want one right here for sure. I want one over here. And I'm going to place one right in there. I should have done this green before I put down the little dots. Okay, I want to show that there's part of one right there. And I'll put another right there. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to glue down our strip. And I have gotten ink right there, but it's going to be covered up. So, no worries. This little strip is 3/16 of an inch, I believe. And we're going to glue it down right there. So, I'm going to get my glue. And I'm going to make sure that I got plenty here. And I'm going to paste it down. Now, it doesn't have to go over to the very edge, but it can. This one, there we go. All right, so I've got a strip down. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to work on our sentiment. Now, we can go ahead and place our ladybug down. We've got her ready. That's the wrong one. Where did I put the ladybug with the Stampin' Dimensional on it? Well, she has disappeared. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to place some Stampin' Dimensionals on this one. I don't know where she got to. I guess she flew away, as ladybugs do. I'll be using the one that flew away on another card, because I have another friend that I can send it to. And there's a little spot of ink that I got right there, so I'm just going to let her body cover that up. Let's see, I want her to go right in there. There we go. Okay. Now, my sentiment is going to go right here. And I am going to get a piece of the white, basic white cardstock. And I'm going to use Hello, My Friend. So I'm going to take this off and put Hello here. And that, whoops. Another way to do it is just put this down on your table and then put your stamp on top of it. Okay, so here's my ink, my black Memento ink. I have fumble fingers today. And I'm going to stamp Hello. And it doesn't have to be really in any orientation, because I am using, I'm going to be cutting it out. I'm using my stamp chamois. This is well loved. This ink does not rub off on you. It just stays right there. It is wonderful. It is what cleans your stamps without getting any lint on them. And it will get lint off too. If you're going to use baby wipes, I highly suggest you use Kirkland baby wipes. They don't transfer ink. Okay, my friend is what we need now. They don't transfer, don't transfer lint. And when that lint gets transferred to a stamp and then gets in on your stamp pad, it's very hard to get it out, and it messes up your images if you stamp over it or load your stamp on top of it. Okay. My friend. Right here. Hello, my friend. There you go. Very good. Okay, so I have a 1-inch punch that I'm going to use. And I'm going to center it just like that. Hello, my friend. So, the next thing is I want to back this. And I'm going to use some basic black cardstock. Now, I don't have the 1 1/4 inch punch that I would like to have to back this. But from days long gone by and other scrapbook days, I do have a 1 1/2, so I'm going to use that. I have ordered the 1 1/4, but it's not here yet. And that's what it's going to look like. So, glue. I have a maze of things here on my table. You just would not believe what it looks like. Gracious, come on. The glue dries over the tip, and you have to clean that off in order for it to come out. So, I've got glue all around on that. And we'll paste it down. This circle will pick up the dot here. And I'm going to paste it down right here. All right, now, I think that my card still needs something. So, I had some from in my stash, some yellow twine that I put on this one. It was just stash. But I have here, and it's gone. I have here white. Make a white bow. Or we could even do black. And then I thought we could even do this red. But out of all of them, I think I like the black best. It's not going to show up as well as this yellow did, but it will give a bit of embellishment. So what I did is I took the twine and I placed it up where I thought I would tie it, so about right here. And then I took the other end and I wrapped it around again. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this right here because I want to make sure, trying to tie it when it's on the roll is very difficult. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a mini glue dot and put where I want to tie the bow. Well, looks like I've used all of them all the way to there. And here it is, that tiny little dot right there, the adhesive dot. And I think my bow, I want to go right in here. So I'm going to place that glue dot right there. So now I've got to pull this a little bit and get it reoriented. Oop, that's not part of what I'm doing. Okay. Where's the second one? It looks like I've only got one. We'll do one. Now this will pull together and make two. Okay, so I'm going to press that down. And I'm going to unpress it because I don't have enough here on this end. Trying to work this out is not easy. All right, so and that one is shorter, but we're going to see what happens. And I push that down. Ooh, I can't do that. This is real time, guys. This is what you encounter when you're really in the real world. Now, let's see. Oh my gosh, will you look at the back of that? I'm going to have to work on that. Okay, put that down. Now, this is better. I'm going to press down right here where the bow is going to go. And that glue dot should hold it tight so I can tie my bow. Okay. I'm going to wrap this underneath here. It will just sort of secure it a little bit. So, going underneath both of those, right here. Pressing down. Now to tie my bow with my fumble fingers. This is the hardest part for me, getting the pieces to go where they're supposed to go. And see, that pulled out. My goodness. Okay. Here we go. One more try. Well, I think it's gonna go in there. It's just not cooperating. I think I probably should have done this without it being on the video. Okay, let's try this again. I've got this. My fingers are just so fiddly. Okay. And then I'm going to pull this back because I don't want that bow quite that big. And I'm going to press that down just like that. Now, the black does look pretty, but I do think a coordinating color would probably have made it stand out more, but this is what we had in our arsenal, so this is what we're using. If I can shorten that, and then shorten this one just a little. Yeah, these are a little. There we go. Okay, there we go. And there's our card. So, we have this card, and then we have this one. This is with the cutaway method that we use by cutting out the edge here and putting a piece of paper, designer series paper underneath. So it would make this just pop out. And this is our layering. So, if you would like to be able to make these cards, you can go to my blog, and I will have directions for all and measurements, supplies that you need for both of them on Friday. And I will link it to my store, so you can go to my projects page and you can pull up this project, and it will give you all the supplies right there in the store if you choose to buy any. So I'm going to lift you up. And I am going to turn you back around. And I am going to say thank you for watching. You don't know how much it means to me for you to join me in my craft room, doing what I love to do. I try each Wednesday to bring to you things that I think that you're going to enjoy and be able to do. My hope is that you will use not only your stamps you have in your craft room, even if they are retired. The best part about these techniques that I'm showing you is that it doesn't have to be with this particular stamp set. It can also be with others. So let your creative juices flow and create some cards. And if you do, please post them in the comments. I would truly love to see what you are making. And if you like what you're seeing, or if this has benefited you in any way, please make a comment You can follow me on YouTube, where I will be posting my videos, and they'll be all in one place for you to see, or go back to at another time. And I just want to say thank you. I've enjoyed being with you, and I hope that you'll join me next Wednesday. So until then, dream and create. Bye-bye.